talk about Dayton and your sort of decision to go play there? And obviously,
Yeah.
it seems like you've done pretty well.
Yeah. I chose Dayton just because when I visited here, well, first of all, it's only 7 hours away, and I was trying to stay pretty close to home, so my parents could come watch some games, and it wouldn't be too much of a hassle to just drive home. So when I got here, it's a pretty small campus. I'm pretty sure we have only around 8,000 undergraduate students. So I really like that sense of community. And you don't know everybody, but you always see someone you know every single day. And just when I got here, everyone was so welcoming, from like obviously the coaches and the administration to even like the parking guy. When me and my dad got here, he was just so nice, and I just really felt that sense of community and family, like I said. And obviously they had a great soccer program and academic program as well.
Cool. Before we get too far, what are you taking in school?
I'm an exercise science major.
Exercise science, and
Yeah.
how are you pretty school something you're focused on a lot? Like, do you do well in school?
Yeah, I do well. I have about a 3.4 grade point average. So
It's good for a student.
yeah,
For a student athlete,
for a
obviously.
student athlete,
That's what
yeah,
I
it's
meant.
good. It's definitely hard, but it's taught me a lot of time management skills.
For sure. And you mentioned their program. Dayton obviously does pretty well. Just talk about, you're from Bradford, right? Is that your hometown?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
from Bradford.
I remember seeing you in high school. So playing for Denny.
Yeah.
So obviously the jump. First of all, you're in your third year now. I'm sure you're pretty comfortable and you've done well. But when you first moved there, and obviously a different, country, everything. But obviously the soccer. What was the level like, and sort of the jump compared to what you were used to?
It was a lot faster. The girls were obviously bigger as well, and I would say a little more physical. So I really had to adjust to that. I would use my speed a lot in club, and I realized I had to kind of improve my technique a bit more because there was girls who were just as fast as me or faster. So I think that was the biggest thing, was just the speed of play.
And obviously, because of that, I guess, I mean, I remember watching you play. High school soccer is obviously one thing where you could kind of just go out and dominate pretty easily. And I know you played club, where I'm sure it wasn't as easy, but still probably used to being maybe easy to be maybe one of the standout players. Was it a lot harder? I mean, you've still been pretty successful, obviously, but what you mentioned, sort of adapting to that size and strength and speed.
Yeah, so coming in, I didn't start right away, which is okay for me because I knew I kind of had to work for my spot. And we actually had a girl on the team, a senior, Colleen Williams, who is the current scoring record holder at UD. So she was kind of ahead of me, and I had to work my way up to playing with her. But, I just worked hard in practice and eventually earned my starting spot as a freshman, which I never took for granted.
And like in any sport, I think, what is it like she kind of help you along too and take you under her wing, or were there players who, bring in the younger players, and maybe you're kind of in that role now to try and make them feel welcome and improve them and give them tips or whatever?
Yeah, she definitely wasn't easy on me, which I liked though. She definitely pushed us as freshmen, especially me, because I was playing up top with her, and yeah, I learned a lot from her. She's one of the hardest workers I've ever met in my entire life. She's a great character and a good leader. And yeah, I definitely feel like I'm in that position now. I was one of the captains this past year, and I'm going to be next year as well. So I have taken, the freshmen each year kind of under my wing and just try and be a good example on and off the field.
And how did you guys do last season, and how have you guys done so far in your few years? Just not necessarily as a full answer, just like, have you guys been pretty good?
Yeah, so we're in the Atlantic 10 Conference. My first 2 years here, my first year we lost in penalty kicks in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, and then my sophomore year we lost in the finals in PKs again.
Oh.
And then finally this year we played the same team we played the year before in the finals, and we actually beat them in regular time. So that was a huge, it felt good. And we're always every year I've been here, we've been voted to win the conference. So yeah, it's good.
So you have expectations. How you said she's the all-time scoring record. I don't. How many goals do you have? Do you have a chance? Maybe is that something that you could possibly attain, or where are you
Yeah,
at?
that's actually one of my personal goals. I want to leave here with that, if I can. I think she had, I want to say 64 or 68, and right now I think I'm sitting at 40, around mid 40s. So I have about 15 or so to go for next year, but I think I can do it. I'll try. This is not
And
the most important thing, but we'll
right.
see.
Without, we don't have to talk about the numbers because I can look them up and make and get them
Okay, yeah,
exact. But give me an answer. I mean, obviously, having gone there, and what would it mean this upcoming year if you are able to sort of leaves a bit of a legacy, I guess, to get your name in a record book.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be awesome. This is a great school. It's beautiful, like just great people here, and I love the team and my coaches. And to just be able to leave that behind, it would be a great accomplishment for me. And I like to set goals for myself. So if I can accomplish that, then that would be amazing.
And what would your team goals be for next year? You mentioned obviously kind of getting over the hurdle there this past year. I guess repeating there and.
Yeah, yeah, definitely repeating. I want us to be able to win the conference outright within conference, and then also win the tournament, and definitely get further than we did last year into the NCAA tournament, because we lost in the first round. And I think now we kind of know what to expect, and we can be more prepared for next year to make it further.
And what's it like playing in that kind of an environment? Those one game winner take all soccer. Obviously you have that experience throughout your childhood, I guess. But in the NCAA, it's obviously a big deal, and your whole school's behind you and things like that.
Yeah, we played Virginia Tech, and I actually didn't get to play in the game because I got injured in our conference final. I got slide tackled and sustained an ankle injury, so that game was like a week and a half later, and I wasn't able to play, and I actually ended up getting surgery a month and a half ago. So yeah, you probably didn't know that, but I'm recovering from that, and I'll be good to go for the season, so that's all that matters.
So your ankle, sorry, is doing well. Everything's going
Yeah,
according to plan.
yeah, it's going well. I've actually been non-weight bearing for 6 weeks now. I have 2 more weeks to go. It was a pretty extensive surgery, but it had to be done. It was just from repetitive ankle sprains, and then that one in the finals just really put it over the edge. But it's going well. It's definitely going to be a roller coaster this summer, but I'm ready to work hard, get back into shape, and finish my senior year out strong.
Cool. And just sort of for you, obviously one more year at Dayton. What are your sort of plans or goals maybe after that?
Yeah, I for sure want to keep playing. Obviously, the national team is always in my radar. It's always going to be something that I can potentially do in the future. I'm not in that player pool right now for the World Cup, but we have the Olympics coming up, and I think that's always going to be a goal of mine. And I've thought about. It really depends on what the senior year opens up for me. So how I do, if I go into the NWSL draft or not. It's also an opportunity to potentially go overseas and play. So I don't know where I'm going to be playing, but I definitely want to keep playing after school.
Right on. And obviously, just a little more about the Canada thing. I know you had a Canada experience, obviously, last year.
Yeah.
Was it the U21? Is that right? Or
Yeah, the U20 World Cup.
U20 World Cup. That was obviously, it must have been a great, and it was here. I mean, what was that experience like? And is that a motivating experience to wear that jersey again? And is it a little disappointing not to be in this pool, or is it not surprising to be not right now?
I think to just describe playing in the World Cup, one word would just be unforgettable. Playing in front of your country, and you feel like everyone in the entire arena is cheering for you. And it was just an unforgettable experience having my family there. I actually have my jerseys up here in my.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and we really just grew into a family. Like, those girls are amazing. Um, I wouldn't say it's a little disappointing not being in that player pool, but I think I knew I wasn't really ready to be at that level. Um, I've come to terms with that, and after the World Cup, I talked to the coach Andrew afterwards, and he said, you need to work on this, this, and this, and they're always watching, so I know what I need to work on, and I know my strengths, so I'm just going to play to those. And like I said, they're always watching me here, so I just have to do my thing and see what happens.
Makes sense. And you are still obviously. How old are you now? 20? Are you 21? Or are you
I'm 21. Yeah,
21? So I mean, you're still pretty young. Like you said, maybe this year in this World Cup wasn't necessarily one where you would expect to maybe to be on that team. So certainly something though that you sounds like you would love to do in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what was I going to ask? There was something there. Like, what was it? Oh, I remember that. I think it was the final game you guys played. Was in Edmonton, I think, and you subbed in pretty early. Somebody got hurt or something, or
yeah, Nichelle got hurt.
Yeah, and well, I mean that was it in Edmonton? A huge crowd. I mean, you guys played had some great chances, if I recall, and then couldn't score, and the next thing you know, you were down. I mean, Canadian women's soccer is obviously compared to the men one of the best in the world. I mean, you guys have done very well. Just talk a little bit about Canadian women's soccer and then being, somewhat of a world soccer power in the women's side.
Yeah, I think it's only been excelling over these past few years. I think John Herdman's done a great job in bringing in some really great players and developing them. We actually got to work with him last summer. He came and was there for the World Cup, did some training sessions with us. And I think he's a huge reason why the program has excelled so much, but also just like through trial and error, I think the girls have really gained that sense of passion and heart and hard work, and they know what they need to do to get things done properly. So I think that we haven't reached our full potential yet as Canada soccer goes, but I think we're getting there.
Good.
And I'm excited for the World Cup this summer to watch, see
Awesome.
where we're at.
Awesome. Just finally, I want to go back to playing and on the field. I mean, I watched a bunch of the highlight packs because there's pretty good, like on YouTube, there's a lot of them. And you're obviously counted on to score goals. I mean, and you've been able to provide that. What's it like being, like in that position? Do you love that position of sort of being counted on to provide in the offense a little bit and score the goals?
I do. I think I excel with pressure. I like a little bit of pressure, and yeah, I think definitely my coaches and my teammates expect me to be the one to be able to put it in the back of the net. But yeah, I've actually played all positions throughout my life, from center back to center mid to forward, and I think forward's definitely my favorite.